Hey everybody, welcome to Studio de Jefre. Today, Dane Brugler has dropped his new 2-round mock draft. Let's take a peek at what the Cowboys did and if it would make you happy. If you watched the national championship game last night, there was probably 5 to 15 guys there that are candidates to be future Cowboys. Few of them in the secondary. And a few of them didn't have a great day in the secondary because LSU and Clemson, turns out, are pretty good at throwing the ball. But let's kick it on over to Dane Brugler's mock draft. As no surprise, Joe Burrow is going to go number 1 overall to the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize. Yesterday on the air, I said I was still sure that Trevor Lawrence was a better prospect than Joe Burrow. And holy cow, I might be wrong. Now, Lawrence is a true sophomore, and Burrow's in his 5th year of college. So Lawrence is still an incredible prospect. But Joe Burrow, holy cow, dude. What more could you possibly want from him to say that dude's going to be really good in the NFL? The only holdup is, can Cincinnati ruin him? But I'm incredibly interested in how it looks with Joe Burrow potentially thrown to A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, and John Ross, with Joe Mixon as the running back. Find you some offensive line help, and Cincinnati's got an offense on their hands. Now, you probably want me to skip straight down to 17 and tell you about the Cowboys, and so I will, and then maybe we'll bounce back up. But this is a 2-round mock draft on The Athletic from the great Dane Brugler, my former co-host on Trust the Tape. It'll be Brian Broaddus this year co-hosting with me, and we will have our first episode tomorrow. So be checking wherever you check for your podcasts. Radio.com is a good spot for it. And get ready for Trust the Tape, okay? Cowboys at 17. It's the most common name that's been linked to the Cowboys, and you watched him play last night if you watched the national championship game, and that is Grant Delpit, the safety from LSU. Here's what Dane has to say about the pick. The Cowboys have neglected to upgrade their safeties for years, but there's a decent chance the first player at the position will be drafted by the Cowboys. Delpit was an up-and-down performer in 2019 in coverage and in run support, but his awareness and range are traits worth betting on. He's good with his words when he describes players. I have already studied Grant Delpit, and he's my top safety in this class right now, and I can't foresee that anybody's going to change that. So he will be my top safety. He's the top safety that goes in this mock draft too. Xavier McKinney, the safety from Alabama, goes number 24 to the Saints. And they're very different players. I like Delpit because I think he's going to create more turnovers. I think the instincts, I was about to say instinctual, but I went with instincts instead, so I said instincts as if I was going to finish instinctual, but I was never going to finish the word. So that is a failure of the English language. Instincts for Delpit in coverage. I think watching him play, he has a great feel for where the ball's going to go. He has a great feel for what the routes around him are designed to do, whether he's playing man, whether he's playing zone. Delpit, to me, would be a good pick. He's number 27 on Dane's big board right now, and you would be picking him at 17. So according to him, I don't know if he would call it a great pick, but I'll talk to him, and I'll let you know. But I would like that pick for the Cowboys. I need to get caught up on my defensive lineman. That's the next stop in my studies to see what about Javon Kinlaw, South Carolina defensive tackle. What about potentially a pass rusher at 17? And the corner group, Christian Fulton, LSU, watched him last night. I think I'll take Delpit over Fulton. And then you also have Trevon Diggs, Stephon Diggs' brother at Alabama. He might be picked around the number 17 spot. So there's a bunch of different candidates. But Grant Delpit is who Dane goes with, and I like the pick. I think that would be a good pick for the Cowboys. You could have Xavier Woods and he playing sort of interchangeable safety spots, and I think he's going to be a player. I think he's going to be a guy that forces turnovers, and I'm in. I'm in on that. Interestingly, the very next guy picked is a guy that's going to be one of the very next up for my tape study, and that is K'Lavon Chaisson. You watched the game last night. You saw there was only one guy that kept affecting Trevor Lawrence. I guess maybe there was more than one, but he was the name that I feel like he spooked Trevor Lawrence. I've never seen Lawrence that shaken up in a game before, where I think he was seeing ghosts. I think at one point they showed a graphic that said he had 12 or 13 overthrows, which means he's putting too much on it and he's trying to get rid of it. Chaisson is really interesting. I don't know if he's even 240 pounds. And so I don't know what the Cowboys are going to think of him. But I'm not here for what the Cowboys are going to think. I'm here to try to tell you who the best players are and who the best picks would be. So Chaison's a guy that I've got to watch. Other picks in the first round, and then we'll get to the Cowboys' second round pick. And I would like in the comments, who would you like their first and or second round pick to be, either by position or name? Just throw out a name that you want me to watch. I'm going to get through a couple hundred guys before the draft gets here, hopefully 300. But currently, we're early in the process. I'm at about 19. So you have Joe Burrow going number 1. You have Chase Young going number 2 to Washington, the Ohio State defensive end. You have Jeffrey Okudah, the cornerback from Ohio State, who I did study yesterday, and that was a really easy study. He's amazing. Chase Young is amazing. Okudah is amazing. If you have a shot at either one of those guys' NFL teams, take them and don't look back. Giants at number 4, Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle, Alabama. That's cool because I would be worried that maybe they would take Isaiah Simmons, who also played in the game last night, and they would figure out how to deploy him in their defense, and then you have to deal with him forever. But Jedrick Wills is Dane's top offensive tackle in the draft out of Alabama, and they do need to protect Daniel Jones better. So that could turn out, if they made a pick like that, to be a really good pick. At number 5 overall, the Miami Dolphins select Tua T, quarterback, Alabama. Over the last 4 years, 10 quarterbacks have been drafted in the top 10, and 7 of those picks were acquired via trade, Dane Brugler says. History suggests the Dolphins would have to move up to secure the services of Tua if he's their target. Based on talent, he's a top 5 draft pick, but it all comes down to the medical feedback and each team's appetite for risk. So let's see what his hip looks like, and let's see who's super interested in Tua. At number 6, he goes Justin Herbert, the Oregon quarterback, to the Chargers. At number 7, Derek Brown, monster D tackle at Auburn, he sends to the Carolina Panthers. Arizona Cardinals take Tristan Wirfs, the offensive tackle from Iowa. And at 9, one of my top 5 players, Isaiah Simmons, the Clemson linebacker, safety, corner, slot corner, edge rusher, interior rusher, everything in the world, Isaiah Simmons. He is so good. So he sends him to Jacksonville at number 9. Andrew Thomas to the Cleveland Browns, the offensive tackle at Georgia, is number 10. Mekhi Becton, the Louisville offensive tackle. This is an offensive tackle run. New York Jets. And then they start taking players that I want. 12, the Raiders, CeeDee Lamb, Oklahoma, wide receiver. 13, Indianapolis Colts, Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver, Alabama. 14, Tampa Bay, A.J. Epinesa, defensive end from Iowa. That is a name you'll want to know if he does make it to 17, because he could definitely be a possibility for the Cowboys. He is not your freaky athlete running around the corner, but he is your super strong, heavy-handed, able to rush because he knows what he's doing and he's super powerful sort of dude. 15, Henry Ruggs, wide receiver, Alabama. 16, Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle, South Carolina. So they're plucking guys that I might want for the Cowboys right before they pick in Dane's mock draft. Chaisson, 18, to the Dolphins. And then Trevon Diggs and Christian Fulton, the Alabama and LSU corners respectively, 20 and 21. T. Higgins, 22. I did skip over because I was looking at the cornerbacks. Kenneth Murray, linebacker, Oklahoma, 19 to the Raiders. Patriots, Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State, getting ready to move on from Brady. Saints, Xavier McKinney, the safety from Bama. Isaiah Wilson, the other tackle from Georgia, to the Vikings. J.K. Dobbins, Ohio State, goes 26 to the Dolphins. C.J. Henderson, the corner at Florida, goes to Seattle. Zach Bond, linebacker, Wisconsin, 28 to Baltimore. Austin Jackson, tackle from USC, goes to the Titans. Brandon Ayuk to the Packers, number 30. He's a wide receiver at Arizona State. Alabama edge, Terrell Lewis to Kansas City at 31. And Jeff Gladney, cornerback, TCU, to the 49ers at 32. Now, who do the Cowboys take in the second round? Because that's the only other thing I'm sure that matters to you guys. Don't kill me if I get the name wrong, okay? I'm going to watch him today. I'm going to study him today. I have a full scouting report for you. Justin Matabuki. Matabuke. Defensive tackle, Texas A&M. I'm a fan of what I've seen live of his. And I would certainly be a fan of the Cowboys investing in a defensive tackle to help out their linebackers, to help out the interior for run defense. And if you've got a little bit of pass rush to you, that's a nice little bonus for me. So that's who Dane Brugler has the Cowboys taking at number 51. Let me know, what do you think? If they went safety, defensive tackle with their first 2 picks, you cool with that? Or is there a different route you would rather go? You want a corner? I think they might need a corner. Maybe they'll keep Byron around. Maybe they'll run back out exactly what they had, minus Anthony Brown. But I'll take that. I would take that draft, and I'll get caught up. I'll get caught up on the tape so I can hit you guys with scouting reports and all that of all the potential guys that are going to be Cowboys. Remember, Trust the Tape returns tomorrow with Brian Broaddus and I. So get subscribed to the podcast wherever you can. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Check 1053thefan.com every day. I love you guys, and I will see you on the radio.